All right, man. Tracy McGrady made some comments about Giannis Antetokounmpo. He says Giannis Antetokounmpo would have struggled in this era. If you can't shoot, it's going to be hard. And Giannis' game is predictable on coming downhill. So, I mean, let's talk about it. To be fair, was guys in his era who couldn't shoot. You know what I'm saying? To be fair, bro. Like McGrady played win. I always try to be fair. Check out the NBA Talk Playlist for more videos like this. It was guys his era who couldn't shoot. You know what I'm saying? But I think he talking from him being a ball handler standpoint. I think that's kind of where he talking about. Yeah, he's playing since 97, 98. So yeah, you know those guys, Bugsy Wills, Mookie Blaylock. I mean, uh, the Davis brothers. I know Dale Davis couldn't shoot that well. I mean, I think he's just looking at him strictly as a ball handler. That's how I think he looking at it as. He looking at it from him being a ball handler. But let's read it. It says that Milwaukee Milwaukee Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo has become one of the most imposing players in the NBA. Giannis has bulked up considerably since entering the NBA, becoming the paint beast in the process. The Buck star has even added capable three-point shot to his game, something people thought he wouldn't be capable of doing. However, there are some out there who don't fully buy into Giannis' game. Consider former NBA star Trace McGrady is one of them. McGrady has a shocking take on Giannis via AHN Fire Digital. He said, "quote I think he would have struggled because of how close up the paint was. I think he would struggle because how closed up the paint was." He said during a recent appearance on Shaquille O'Neal's podcast, "It was tough offensively because the defenses were so great. Quote, if you can't shoot, this is going to be hard," McGrady added. Giannis' game is predictable on coming downhill. It would have been tough for him to be who he is today back then. And you know what, man? I say the same thing about LeBron James. Not saying that they could make the adjustment, but you had to go over real 7 footers. Matumbo. I mean, even guys, probably be stars today, and Rick Smith, the Davis boys, and Mason and Oakley and Ewing and David Robinson and Tim Duncan and Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, sheesh. Keem Olajuwon, Ralph Sampson when he was healthy, the Chief Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale. I mean, it was a who's league of big fellas. I mean, even sorry ass Greg Ostertag. You know, so he right. Because they had real 7 footers. You had Draymond waiting on the at the rim on you. Had real guys who was gonna challenge you. And sometimes you will get them. Sometimes you will get banged on. Like Beer, Rick Mahorn. I mean, come on, you can just keep going on and on about the big fellas back then. Sean Kemp. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, hell of a guys. So I do think that that's the accurate. He had guys that was as physical as him who would have met him at the rim. We seen before last year, before his run last year, we seen where teams have closed the paint off on him. They have closed the paint off on him. We've seen it. We've seen him struggle, and really, I think he would need to get a floater, and maybe him posting up a lot more. And he's shown the capabilities of posting up. Maybe that might help with the TMac right. Him and LeBron and some of these guys, they going over like Karl Anthony Towns. Like Joel Embiid was like the only big fella I respect all the way around. Offensive game is nice. Defensive game, he nice. But other than that, it's like Jokic really good offensively balanced, but he ain't really no great defensive player. You got guys like Clint Capella who's solid in the middle. Some young guy, Rudy Gobert, solid in the middle. You know what I'm saying? But they don't dominate the block. You know what I'm saying? Dwight was the last good one. He was proficient enough in the post, and then he was great defensively. You don't have guys like Dwight walking around no more outside like Joel Embiid. You got some young guys like Mitchell Robinson, Thomas Bryant. The guys coming. But with these big fellas today, even like Karl Anthony Towns, you know, dope player. Playing with a lot more heart this year. Posting up. Handling the rock, but he ain't like defensively like average. You know what I'm saying? Like you had more big fellas who were more balanced. Not everybody trying to go out there and shoot threes. You got Mo Bamba, with a 17 wingspan out there shooting threes. Like, come on. But yeah, he would have to go over real 7-footers, bro. And that's a fact. He would have to go over, even the power forwards with 7-footer, Rasheed Wallace and guys like that. He right. It'd have been a lot difficult. So, he would have to get like continue to post and get that 10 to 15 game range going. Because you have real rim defenders who can walk and chew bubblegum, bro. And they can make you pay on the other end. So it really doesn't matter not if he's a center or not. People say, oh, you always said he was a center because he can't shoot. The centers today shoot. But he right, you going, you had to, you get double tap. That's the Pistons used to call it. I foul you, then my horn foul you. So, it'd have been a different grind. You put the muscle on and all that, and you physically imposing, but you had to go over real 7-footers, man. Look what Shaq did like his rookie year, bro. Like Tracy McGrady in line, bro. Like back in the day, even the marginal centers, like Rick Smits and Greg Ostertag was pretty solid. So yeah, him and LeBron, they fortunate enough not to have to play in that era where you go to the lane and get an easy layup. Wasn't no easy layups per se. If you did, bro, it was hell of a job by you, blown coverage. But Shaquille O'Neal came in the league averaging 24 and 14, bro. 24, 14, 2 assists, 3.5 blocks. This is what he came in the league doing, bro. Not a 3-point attempted. This is what he came in the league doing. Come on, that's as a rookie. You compare it to Joel Embiid, which I think Embiid would be pretty good, pretty great in any era, as long as he stay healthy. You look at what Joel Embiid is doing this year. 29, 11, 4.5. He got 2.5 blocks. So, my bad, I'm looking at the wrong year. 29, 4.5 assists. He under 10 rebounds, and he got 1.4 block. I mean, come on. And this is him as a seasoned veteran. And this is him. They'll have to go up against Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Rasheed Wallace, and guys like that. So to me, I said people don't really understand the difference that Tracy McGrady saying. That man would have to get a push shot, a 10-foot, 15-foot jumper. You know what I'm saying? With him having the ball, he couldn't walk. I mean, they wouldn't have to build a wall. That's what I'm telling you. A lot of times they let him come to the rim and let Mutombo clean him up. In the early 2000s, kind of when the shift kind of started to happen, bro. Like Ben Wallace and guys like that, bro. Let's say McGrady played in the 2000s, bro, because he played a little bit in the 90s, but he was a kid. When he got from under old boy's shadow. So I don't know this ranking system. And Chris Kaman, Brad Miller, Lottie Depot is solid. Marcus Camby, Ben Wallace, Yao Ming, Mari Stoudemire, Dwight Howard, Shaquille O'Neal. You had Tim Duncan, who really was considered a center. He just was a power forward. He's the guy put next to David Robinson. I mean, just keep moving on, man. Guys like Tyson Chandler was solid. All these guys, Marcus Parker, so all these guys in their prime, the name, Bergeron and Michael Okafor and Duchamp. I mean, Eric, remember Shaq called Eric Dampier, Eric had been there. So you had some solid guys back then, man. So like I said before, it's a different game too, bro. Different game too, man. So people talking about the basketball is different or it's not different. It definitely is different. He definitely would have a problem. He would have to really work on the block. Demand a double team, kick it out. He ain't gonna be able to come down the court, and get to the rim and just get an easy layup. He gonna be put on his ass. That's just the honest truth. He gonna be put on his ass. So yeah, I agree with McGrady. Like LeBron James and Giannis and these guys benefit from playing in this era without 7-footers. And like I said, centers. Don't have to be a 7-footer. Centers was never considered sexy. They never had shoe deals or nothing like that. But At one point, you had to have a Mark Eaton. You had to have, one of those guys to Brad Daughtry, Ralph Sampson. Always considered you had to have one of those guys to in the middle to win the championship. And Michael Jordan was one of the first guys. Isaiah Thomas probably was the first guy to do that. He probably was. Bill and Bear. He was an all-star. Rick Mahorn, hell of a player. Edwards, James Edwards, hell of a player. But Isaiah Michael was the first one not to have a superstar center win a championship. Yeah, it was the first ones. And Michael, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, they helped eliminate guys like Rasheed Wallace, um, Sam Perkins, Terry Mills, guys like that help eliminate the center as we know it. They did. You see Sam Perkins out there shooting threes, Terry Mills shooting threes, Dirk Nowitzki, Garnett, athletic, handling the ball, and Dirk bringing it up, shooting threes. It put an impact on guys. Rasheed Wallace stepping out, shooting threes. More big fellas saying, well, now I can handle the ball, and more coaches being more lax on how they coaching, not putting the big fella on the block or putting them on the elbow. So a lot of them, Chris Webber, a lot of them paved the way for Giannis. Giannis and Joel Embiid, Mo Bamba, and all these dudes shooting threes. A lot of these guys paved the way. It was a process. It was a process. But I agree with Tracy McGrady saying, but I think Giannis is talented enough to make the adjustments. Now, I was talking to somebody the other day, and we was talking about on yesterday. It was on my other channel. Check it out, Motor Street Sports Talk. Talking about Giannis shooting the rock, and how you got when you lift weights, you bulk. A lot of basketball players don't like to lift weights because the bulk messes up they jump shot. And I was saying that LeVar Ball was talking about that, when he was doing interviews and stuff. Son Lonzo came into the league. He said when you lift, you have to continue to get. When you lift, you have to keep putting shots up, so the mass don't mess with your shooting muscle memory. And maybe Giannis is putting too much mass on, and that's why his shot ain't really where it should be at. Because you have to lift and keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting to make sure, because once you stop lifting, that's when the magic happens. Everything you do after lifting, protein, carbs, you put in whatever you put in to rebuild the muscle. When you lift, you just tearing the muscle down. That's why you shouldn't do the same muscle every day. I hit that one muscle one time a week when I do lift. So yeah, when you lift and you just literally tearing it down, and everything you do after that builds the muscle back up. So that's why you always have different. Every now and again, I don't know. I might do a routine for a year, and I might flip it. I might add extra other little stuff. But he need to be putting shots up. Maybe the mass muscle messing with the shot. But I agree with TMac. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check the NBA Talk playlist out. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notification. We go live or drop a video. Want to make a financial donation? Just Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Hit the link tree link in the description. You can find me everywhere I'm producing content, or I am on social media.